Ethan Blackwood was known in every business magazine as the Alpha CEO, the man who ruled the corporate world with an iron will and a cold heart. At 34, he was the youngest CAO to ever dominate the international finance sector, and people feared him as much as they respected him. His presence alone could silence a boardroom, his sharp gaze cutting through lies like a blade. Love, emotions, and weakness had no place in his life. At least that was what he believed. To Ethan, emotions were distractions, luxuries for people who couldn't afford ambition. He had built his empire from nothing after losing his parents in a tragic accident during his teenage years. That loss hardened him, teaching him that attachments only led to pain. From that day on, he trusted no one and cared for nothing beyond success. Women came and went in his life, but none ever stayed long enough to matter. Then came Lily Carter. Lily was nothing like the women who usually surrounded Ethan. She wasn't polished by privilege or blinded by power. She came from a modest background, raised by a single mother who taught her kindness, resilience, and self-respect. Lily joined Blackwood Enterprises as a junior project coordinator, unaware that her life was about to change forever. On her first day, Lily accidentally walked into the executive meeting room, mistaking it for the orientation hall. The room fell silent as Ethan Blackwood lifted his eyes to her. Fear rushed through her veins when she realized her mistake, yet something in his gaze held her frozen. Instead of shouting, Ethan simply stared, intrigued by her calm apology and unshaken posture. That brief moment should have meant nothing, yet Ethan found himself thinking about her later that night. He dismissed it as curiosity, nothing more. But fate had other plans. Lily proved herself quickly at work. She was intelligent, hardworking, and unafraid to speak her mind, even when surrounded by powerful executives. Ethan noticed how she challenged ideas respectfully, how she focused on solutions rather than ego. Slowly, he began assigning her to high-level projects, much to the surprise of senior staff. As weeks turned into months, Ethan and Lily spent more time together. Late-night meetings, intense discussions, shared coffee breaks that felt strangely personal. Lily saw past Ethan's cold exterior and noticed the loneliness behind his control. Ethan, on the other hand, found himself drawn to her warmth, her laughter, and the way she never treated him like a god or a monster. Still, Ethan fought his feelings. Love was dangerous. It made people vulnerable. He had built his entire life around control, and Lily threatened that balance. Things took a turn when rumors spread through the company. Employees whispered about the CEO's sudden favoritism. Lily became the target of jealousy and judgment, accused of using charm to climb the ladder. The pressure weighed heavily on her, and for the first time, she questioned whether working at Blackwood Enterprises was worth the cost. One evening, after a particularly harsh day, Lily confronted Ethan in his office. Her voice trembled, not with fear, but with disappointment. She told him she didn't need his protection or special treatment, only fairness. Her words struck him harder than any accusation ever had. That night, Ethan realized something terrifying. He cared. As external threats grew, hostile takeovers, board conspiracies, and media scandals, Ethan found Lily standing by him, supporting him not as an employee, but as a person. She believed in him when others only saw power. For the first time in years, Ethan felt something he had buried long ago: trust. But love never comes without pain. When Lily discovered that Ethan had initially assigned her projects out of curiosity rather than faith, she felt betrayed. Old insecurities resurfaced, and she resigned, believing she was just another experiment in his controlled world. Her departure left Ethan hollow, his carefully structured life suddenly empty. Days passed, then weeks. The empire remained intact, but Ethan felt weaker than ever. Success tasted meaningless without Lily's presence. He finally understood what his parents had once known: power meant nothing without someone to share it with. Ethan did the unthinkable. He stepped away from work and searched for Lily. He found her in her hometown, working at a small nonprofit, smiling the way she used to before corporate cruelty dimmed her light. Standing before her, stripped of titles and authority, Ethan apologized not as a CEO, but as a man. He admitted his fear, his mistakes, and his love. Lily listened in silence, tears in her eyes. Love had hurt her before, and trusting again felt terrifying. But she saw sincerity in Ethan's vulnerability, something no one else had ever seen. Slowly, she forgave him, not because he was powerful, but because he was human. Their love didn't change Ethan overnight, but it transformed him gradually. He learned to listen, to compromise, and to care beyond numbers and profits. Lily returned to Blackwood Enterprises on her own terms, respected for her talent, not her connection. Together, they faced challenges stronger than rumors or rivals. Ethan remained the Alpha CEO, but no longer heartless. Lily became his equal, his anchor, and his greatest strength. In the end, love didn't weaken Ethan Blackwood. It saved him.